What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the biggest issue with Call of Duty. This is specifically with Call of Duty. Honestly, I was going to say it's specifically with like Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2. I'm sure it's going to be an issue with Modern Warfare 3, but it is the huge influx, or rather the ignorance, the blind ignorance of casual Call of Duty players. Let me explain here, all right? I saw this tweet from Charlie Intel, actually this morning when I'm recording this, and he basically goes, the problem with Call of Duty is that while a lot of us are upset with the start of the game, the MTX sales, the microtransaction sales, continue to perform at a very high pace, which leads the developers to make fewer changes. Black Cell apparently has sold very well for Season 3. That is pretty much all of our biggest fear, that last sentence, that Black Cell is just sold very well. That's all of our content creators, all of us who are trying to speak out against Call of Duty these days. Like, that's our biggest fear. For those of you who've been, subscribers of the channel, those of you who've been around for a while, you guys know that I basically talked about a boycott the other day and why it probably won't work. This is why, okay? There are so many casual players, people who don't know, how to log on to twitter.com, people who never look online, never watch a YouTube video about Call of Duty. There's just so many people out there, like, I don't know, 40-year-old dads, 12-year-old kids, I don't know, just random people out there who, only hop on to play Call of Duty maybe 2 hours a week, something like that. They buy a skin. Their favorite player is Kevin Durant. They like Timthetatman. They buy that. They just blind ignorance. And I'm not trying to turn this video into a "don't tell me how to spend my money, dude" kind of video. Okay, like, I'm not getting into that. I feel like every time I talk about bundles, I have to deal with this in the comment section. Like, I'm over it. Okay, it's not the first time I'm talking about it. It's not gonna be the last time I'm talking about this. So if you're gonna type that in the comments, just forget about it. Okay, I'm not gonna talk to you. Maybe you'll bait someone else into responding to you. I'm not going to respond to that. But why this is specifically an issue is because people, okay, it's basically like you're protesting and then like half the people are not protesting with you. That's kind of what it is. Like, if you're going to do something, you want everyone to do it all together. It doesn't even matter what you're protesting per se. It's just you have to be all in alignment together. And the fact that there's so many people who are not with you, who are not with me in this quote unquote boycott, in this basically just trying to, not get nickel and dimed. There's countless people out there getting nickel and dimed. Okay. For the 50,000 people, let's say, who are, okay, let's say there's 60,000 players playing COD, which I think is not far off from reality on Steam. Let's just take the Steam numbers, right? Let's say there's 60,000 people playing COD. I'd say at least 60% of that do not watch, Twitter, do not watch YouTube, do not click on any articles about Call of Duty. They just play Call of Duty every now and then. Like, I would say that's how many people are not like in touch with Call of Duty in terms of like this boycott thing. They're just happy to be playing. They're just playing like 2 games a night before they go to sleep. And that's fine. I'm not saying everybody's got to be a sweat. Not everybody has to be an uber tryhard. Not everyone has to be a YouTuber or a ranked play player or a Warzone demon. You don't have to do that. But I think it's important to note that, like, if it's a game you consistently play, it's important to look online, right? It's important to look online, see how the community is doing, see how people are feeling. At the end of the day, Call of Duty is not a single player game, like, it kind of is with the campaign, but if you're playing Warzone every day, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, a lot of it's multiplayer stuff, and buying stuff, playing stuff might be attributing to the health of the game, of a game that, or for a development studio that doesn't really care about you. And a lot of these casual players don't know this. And it's kind of reflected because, like he says, developers make fewer changes because the microtransactions perform at a high pace. So it's basically like, what? I'm paying $20 for a Big Mac at McDonald's. I don't want to keep doing that, so I'm going to stop. But, my whole neighborhood, maybe like 300 people around me are still paying for it. Guess what? McDonald's is not going to change their price. They're not going to lower their price to something reasonable because everybody around me is still paying for it. Everybody around me is still doing the same thing, versus, it's a bad analogy, but maybe 250, maybe 270 of those people, stop. Maybe 200 of those people stop buying it for 2 months. Maybe McDonald's is like, hey, you know what? We're not making as much. Let's lower the price to $10. It's still kind of a lot, but hey, at least you made progress. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. simple analogy, and I'm sure there's tons of like other hoops that people have to jump through, development studios and consumers, but that's kind of the premise, right? At least in my opinion, it's like you don't do something, the company's going to notice, maybe they'll change something, but versus everybody just continually buying $25-$30 bundles when the game came out at $70. I don't really know what to tell you. By the way, I didn't really remark on this in the beginning, but what you're watching is some old Rebirth gameplay. I'm just clearing out my hard drive because I actually don't have a whole lot of new COD gameplay. I have not been doing well, and when I have been playing, I don't really record. So yeah, you're going to be seeing some old gameplay for the foreseeable future. I'm trying to get new gameplays, but again, I'm not playing super well these days, so it might take some time. Anyway, let's get back on track here. The last part of this tweet about Black Cell is basically why I wanted to make this video, guys. It's so disappointing. Black Cell apparently has sold very well for season 3. I didn't want to believe this, like the first thing I saw when I read this tweet was like, I wanted to reply to Charlie and tell him basically just be like, where's the proof? You know what I mean? Like, where are the numbers? Because I can't believe people bought Black Cell this heavily. Like there's so many content creators out there. Content creators who basically, how do I put this? They may have used to be on the quote unquote payroll that are not on it anymore. These guys are telling you to not buy the Black Cell, and people are still buying. Apparently it's sold very well. It's just discouraging, dude. It's just like, why am I doing this? Why am I making these videos speaking out against bundles? Why am I making these videos critiquing Call of Duty? You know that they're not going to listen. You know that the consumers aren't going to listen. You know that developers aren't going to listen. It's like, who am I speaking to? I'm speaking to people who are already in basically agreement with me. Smart people like you guys, right? And it's just discouraging because I try to hop on. Obviously, I want to grow this channel, and I do thank you guys because the channel has grown. But I'm not out here just to grow channels and just to earn a paycheck through YouTube or whatever. Like, it's nice, but at the end of the day, I have a passion for Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty is what I want to spend time on. Call of Duty is what I want to improve, and if it's not going to improve, it's like, why am I playing this? It's so easy to just hop onto another game right now. Most of my in real life friends are playing Valorant. Most of my Discord friends are playing, one game of COD a night and then hop into something else. It's just like, it's so easy to just ditch this franchise right now. But Call of Duty is what I grew up with. It's still kind of fun. There's still moments of fun in this franchise, and I don't know. I don't really want to leave it yet, but it seems like the developers, it seems like the studios are just pushing me away. It seems like they've pushed so many content creators away. Prestige is key. This dude don't even want to touch Call of Duty until like there's a new update. Faze Jev, I don't even know what FaZe Jev is doing. Blame Truth doesn't play the game anymore. Thunder uploads like once a month. Like, Neroscinema only makes negative videos now. It's just such a bad state for Call of Duty, right? Like, it's just terrible. It's terrible. They've chased away their loyal fan base. The casual fan base dropped off after they realized the game was not fun, which everyone has realized. But guess what? Your hardcore fan base will play the game regardless of how fun it is or not, until you chase them away this hard, appealing to people who don't want to play your game. That being casual players. That's just the state of Call of Duty where we're at. That's just where we are in terms of Call of Duty. And it's like I said, it's so easy to just play another game. Like, it's so easy to play Valorant right now. There's many more people I can play Valorant with if I want to play with people, but yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna switch, in terms of like Call of Duty YouTube wise. Like, YouTube wise, I'm always basically gonna be covering Call of Duty until like Call of Duty kills itself, I guess. But as far as like for my free time, as far as like what I want to do myself, like I don't know, man. You might see different gameplays. You're probably not, because there's still a lot of like older gameplays on my hard drive, but. Don't be surprised if one day you see some Valorant or you see some other game. Don't be surprised. That's just the way I'm going to put it. But again, still going to be covering COD topics. Still want to do this because, channel growth has been really good so far. So I obviously want to keep that up. But yeah, that's it for the video. I'm sorry I rambled on a little bit too long there at the end, but hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, as always. And yeah, appreciate you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, and peace.